The Colombian Institute for Development and Peace Studies in the past denounced the murder of indigenous leaders in the municipality of Caloro, located in the Colombian department of Cauca. Iran imposed the highest level of restrictions as the country struggles with a new surge in COVID-19 related fatalities. In Indonesia and East Timor, at least 97 people have died and dozens more were missing after Cyclone Salazar hit, triggering flash floods and landslides. From the headquarters of TeleSUR English in Havana, Cuba, this is From the South. I'm Gladys Quesada. And now we begin with the news. The Colombian Institute for Development and Peace Studies in the past denounced this Sunday the murder of an indigenous leader in the municipality of Caloro, located in the Colombian department of Cauca. According to In the Past, the victim was Fernando Lozada Franco from the Niasa de Tacuella Indigenous Reservation in the municipality of Toribio and of the National Union of Security Professionals in Caloro. As reported after preliminary investigations, Lozada Franco was found with several bullet impacts, and for the moment the authorities are investigating the motives of the murder. In addition to the murder of Lozada Franco, the authorities confirmed this Sunday morning the perpetration of a massacre in the municipality of Circasia, department of Quindio, where 4 citizens were killed. In the past reports that so far in 2021, a total of 42 social leaders and 13 former combatants have been killed, while 25 massacres have been perpetrated. The Salvadoran citizen Victoria Salazar, who died in Mexico after being subdued by police officers, was buried this Sunday in a cemetery in the city of Sonsonate, in the presence of family and close friends. The coffin with Victoria's remains were taken in a white car from funeral home in Sonsonate, southwest of San Salvador, to a private cemetery in La Generosa, on the outskirts of the city. The victim died on March 27 after being subdued by police officers in Tulum, a Mexican Caribbean resort. She had 2 daughters, 15 and 16-year-old. This Sunday, the Archbishop of San Salvador, José Luis Escobar, after lamenting Salazar's death in a press conference, indicated that it should move the governments not only of El Salvador, but also of Mexico and the United States to defend and respect the rights of migrants. The prosecutor's office of the Mexican state of Quintana Roo, where Tulum is located, informed on Saturday that the 4 police officers accused of Salazar's death, among them a woman, were formally charged after being captured on the day of the events. The Chilean Senate approved the bill for the postponement of the municipal, regional and constituent elections for the coming month of May, given the health situation due to COVID-19. With 40 votes in favor and 2 abstentions, the Senate approved the bill proposed by President Sebastián Piñera to postpone these elections until 15 and 16 May, delaying the runoff election of governors to June 13th, and finally proposing the primaries from the presidential election to July 18th. The Senate must now debate on Monday the bill for definitive adoption. Likewise, the Senate approved during this Sunday's session in general the government's project that establishes financial aid for the middle class in the middle of the quarantine due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In Mexico, the electoral campaigns for 10 political parties began ahead of the federal elections on June the 6th. Polls from the firm Oráculos estimate that Morena, the party of President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, will maintain control of the Chamber of Deputies with 42% of the votes, above National Action with 17% and followed by the Institutional Revolutionary Party with 16% support. At least 94 million Mexicans will be called to vote for 500 seats in the chamber, and deputies. Nearly 20,000 state posts will be elected in total, including 15 out of 32 governors. The government of Venezuela announced this Sunday that the country registered 1,786 new COVID-19 infections in the last 24 hours. Vice President Delcy Rodriguez explained that of the total of new infections, 1,779 were transmitted locally, while 7 were imported. The total number of infections since the start of the pandemic amounts to more than 164,000. Rodriguez also announced the death of 15 people, which brings to more than 1,600 the death toll in the country. On other issues, President Maduro called for zero tolerance against irregular armed groups in Colombia that seek to hinder the country's stability.
I call for the absolute and total support of the people of Venezuela for our glorious Bolivarian National Armed Force. Zero tolerance for the irregular armed groups, drug traffickers and terrorists of Colombia. Zero tolerance. All roof is taken out of the country. Venezuela is respect. Venezuela is a land of peace, of noble people, territory of Bolivar, of liberators.
Emergency crews in Central Florida were working Sunday to prevent an environmental catastrophe at leaking reservoir that risks sending millions of gallons of contaminated wastewater toward nearby homes and into the Tampa Bay. More than 300 homes near the site of an abandoned phosphate mine or fertilizer production facility in Manatee County were under mandatory evacuation orders, and Governor Ron DeSantis on Saturday declared a state of emergency to free up funds to tackle the crisis. According to local authorities, emergency workers assisted by the Florida National Guard were pumping about 33 million gallons of water daily out of a wastewater reservoir at the site, which was sprung a growing leak in its plastic lining. We'll take a short break now. Join us again after this. Welcome back to From the South. Tehran is once again facing the highest level of restrictions as the country struggles with a new surge in coronavirus fatalities. Local media informed that these measures imposed on Monday are the third time Tehran has faced a so-called Code Red since the pandemic began. A Code Red involves a ban on any travel by personal cars to and from cities and limits working hours of many businesses and offices to prevent the spread of the virus. About 50 cities and towns are in Code Red, with only 23 in Code Blue or safe status, out of the country's total of more than 800 cities and towns. Authorities blame the increase on large gatherings and traveling during the Iranian New Year holidays in March. These measures come as Iran's daily death toll again reached 3 digits after months of being under 100.
Unfortunately, the new wave of COVID-19 infections that started from the country's southwest has now dominated the west of the country and is spreading towards the east and the north. Iranian New Year trips have caused a rise of cases in the north.
Bangladesh is enforcing lockdown for another week from Monday, shutting shopping malls and also transportation to help curb the spread of coronavirus as the rates of infections and fatalities have increased in recent weeks. Health authorities said they were facing overwhelming pressure from intensive care units in hospitals in recent weeks because of the severe cases of infections. Domestic flights, river transport, and railway operations were suspended on Monday, while only emergency services will remain operational. The government has asked people not to go out from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. But owners and workers of shopping malls in Dhaka's Elephant Road area took to the streets demanding that authorities allow them to run their shops. The nationwide lockdown is the second for the South Asian nation after it shut down for 2 months from late March last year. Bangladesh registers more than 637,000 cases and over 9,200 fatalities from COVID-19.
Government imposed this lockdown all of a sudden. The book fair is open to public. Garment factories under BGMEA, Bangladesh Garment Manufacturers and Exporters Association, and other industries, factories are open. Only we, the shop owners and staff, have to shut down our businesses. We are kept in hold-up. This system will make us broke. Legal actions are being taken against people who don't wear masks. This drive of ours will continue. I want to give a message that people who violate the given directive about lockdown and health safety guidelines will face stricter legal actions.
On Monday, a shipment of the Chinese Sinopharm vaccine arrived in Serbia. The shipment of 500,000 vaccines was welcomed at Belgrade airport by Serbian Prime Minister Ana Brnabić and the Chinese ambassador to Serbia, Shen Bo. Brnabić hailed the delivery, which she said had now brought the total amount of vaccines Serbia had received from China to 2.5 million. So far, the Balkan nation has vaccinated some 1.5 million people of a population of 7 million, but has seen the drive slow down as fewer people have stepped forward to receive the jabs. On a move aimed at keeping the economy running, the government eased restriction measures. Also, despite high numbers of infections, bars and restaurants are allowed to serve guests outside at reduced capacity and with respect of social distancing rules.
We are again at Belgrade Airport, Nikola Tesla, to welcome another shipment of Chinese Sinopharm vaccines. This time 500,000 vaccines, and with this shipment that arrived today, we have received from the People's Republic of China 2.5 million vaccines in total. I hope that this new shipment of Chinese vaccine will additionally help the process of building an immunization in Serbia. I wish all good health.
On Monday, Greece relaxed a nationwide lockdown by opening most retail shops, despite a high level of COVID-19 infections and fatalities. Critics have noted the paradox of the lockdown being relaxed, while new cases of the virus are reported at a rate over 3,000 daily, accounting 1,000 more than when the restrictions were announced in November, with the daily number of fatalities now more than double. Restrictions on retail also remains in place in areas around Thessaloniki and Patras, Greece's largest cities after Athens, because of spiking infections. Free rapid tests are available in public spaces and people can shop by appointment as the government hopes to stem damage to the economy that has suffered from reduced tourism.
See people keeping the measures out after so many days locked inside. It's the first day the shops are opening with click away and click in shop.
Thankfully the market opened again and we can see some movement. I hope the measures are kept and people with individual responsibility keep their distance and go about their shopping so that the government doesn't take further measures and closes us down again.
In Chile, travelers crowded Santiago International Airport as the nation prepares to close its border from Monday, amid record numbers of new COVID-19 infections. The Chilean government announced on Thursday new measures to curb the advance of COVID-19 in the country, including the closure of air borders during the whole month of April. Travel abroad will be restricted for a period of 30 days, both for Chilean citizens and foreign residents. It will be allowed to request extraordinary authorization for the travel of people abroad for urgent and qualified humanitarian reasons or health treatments. Likewise, from April the 5th to 30th, only nationals and foreigners residing in the country or having a consular authorization will be able to enter Chile.
A little scared. I'm ready to go. I've been on a ship. We came here to fly home, and then tomorrow is supposed to be closed. Yeah, so I'm a little scared. I'm ready to go home.
It seems to me that the Chilean authorities are experts in making bad decisions. So this seems to be one more of them, because I don't know if it has to do with a health issue or if something is really happening because it wasn't done before. This hastened everything. Now there are more people than ever at the airport.
And we have more news coming up after a final short break, so stay with us. Welcome back to From the South. This Monday, at least 97 people have died and thousands more were missing after Cyclone Seroja hits Indonesia and East Timor, triggering flash floods and landslides that uprooted trees, blocked roads, and turned small communities into wastelands of mud. Indonesia's disaster agency said at least 70 people were dead and 40 were missing in the country's East Nusa Tenggara province. The disaster agency also said that more than 400 people were evacuated and thousands more affected. In East Timor, 27 people were killed by landslides, flash floods, and a falling tree, mostly in the capital, Dili. More than 1,500 people were evacuated. Indonesian President Joko Widodo offered his condolences and urged residents to follow the direction from field officers during extreme weather. Indonesia's weather agency said Seroja cyclone hit the Sabu Sea southwest of Timor Island in the early hours of Monday. It also warned that within the next 24 hours, the cyclone's intensity could strengthen, bringing yet more rain, waves, and winds. Still in Indonesia, a collision between a cargo ship and a fishing boat have killed at least 2 fishermen and left 15 others missing off in Java. The fishing boat capsized late on Saturday with 32 aboard after hitting the Indonesian bulk carrier Mhabko Pioneer late Saturday off Indramayu district. The head of Indonesia's search and rescue agency said 2 bodies were recovered on Sunday. One of the dead was trapped in a fishing net beneath the surface and another found inside the sunken vessel. The remaining 15 crew were rescued. Meanwhile, local fishermen and the Navy continued searching for the others. On Monday, Vietnam's new Prime Minister Pham Minh Binh was formally elected and sworn in at the country's Parliament National Assembly in Hanoi. Shin, a former Deputy Minister of Public Security who is known for the reforms he carried out while party chief of Northern Quang Ninh Province, said the Prime Minister role was an honor, but also a heavy responsibility.
I promise to exert all effort to overcome all difficulties and challenges inherent and promote the traditions and precious experience of previous prime ministers, together with members of the government, to unite and act decisively, effectively to serve the homeland and the people.
On Monday, a ferry collided with another vessel and capsized on riverside Bangladesh capital. According to the authorities, the ferry sank Sunday night after being hit by a cargo vessel just outside Dhaka. A government official informed that rescuers had recovered 26 bodies so far. The double-decker ferry was traveling to a neighboring district with more than 50 passengers when the accident took place. Ferry accidents are common and are often blamed for overcrowding and lax rules in Bangladesh. They are a leading means of transportation, especially in the southern and northeastern regions. Jordan's foreign minister has accused the country's former crown prince of conspiring with foreign elements in an incitement that threatened national security. Foreign Minister Ayman Safari also said that the plot had been foiled and that some 16 people are under arrest.
His Highness Prince Hamza broadcast of 2 recorded messages in Arabic and English is another attempt to distort the facts and evoke local and foreign sympathy, and reflecting his intentions and reality of the activities carried out a while ago, which include incitement and work to mobilize citizens against the country, which unacceptably touches national security. Jordanian security apparatus also monitored the person who has connections with foreign security apparatus and with the wife of Prince Hamza. Yesterday at 3:35 p.m., they offered their services at a disposal and offered to provide her with a plane so she could immediately fly and leave Jordan to travel to a foreign country. This presents another indication for involvement of foreign elements in suspicious activities that have been thwarted to protect the security of Jordan and its stability.
In Kosovo, the parliament has elected Vjosa Osmani Sadriou as new president. Osmani Sadriou is Kosovo's second female leader in the post-war era and will serve for a 5-year term. She was backed by the left-wing self-determination movement, which won Kosovo's February 14 early election. Her role will largely be ceremonial, but she also has a leading position in foreign policy and is the commander of the armed forces. And resuming normalization talks with former war enemy Serbia is a priority in her list.
I swear that I will put all my power in preserving the independence, the sovereignty and the territorial integrity of the Republic of Kosovo, to ensure human and citizens' rights, to respect and preserve the Constitution, to defend peace and welfare for all citizens of Kosovo. I will do my duty with responsibility and consciousness, I swear.
At least 22 Indian soldiers have been killed and 31 others wounded in a gunfight with Maoist rebel fighters. The fighting erupted when Indian security forces raided a rebel hideout in Bihapur district on Saturday. This was India's deadliest engagement with the Maoist rebels in 4 years. Indian soldiers have been battling the Maoists across central and northern states since 1967. The rebel fighters claim to defend rights of the indigenous tribes and other marginalized groups. "11 people have been killed and 19 people were injured after a truck and a passenger bus collided in eastern China. The accident happened in the early hours of Sunday, with the truck crossing the central divider in the middle of a highway in the eastern province of Jiangsu and colliding with a bus traveling the opposite direction, causing the bus to overturn. 2 other trucks driving behind the bus also rolled over when they attempted to avoid the accident. Afghan President Ashraf Ghani will put forward a 3-phase peace roadmap through a conference on the Afghan peace process in Turkey, aimed at finalizing the peace deal between Kabul and the Taliban militant group, according to a document. The first part of the proposal, titled Region and an State, includes a consensus of a political settlement and an internationally monitored ceasefire, the document revealed on Sunday. The second part will be holding a presidential election and the establishment of a government of peace and implementation arrangements for moving towards the new political system. And we have come to the end of this news brief, but remember, you can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net. And also, if you feel so inclined, please join us on social media. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also in Telegram. For TeleSUR English, I'm Gladys Quesada. Thank you for watching.